Hello everyone and welcome back to some more league racing content on the channel. Today we're here for WOR Jeddah round number 8 here in Saudi Arabia. Well, that's not ideal. Not the best start to qualifying as we have a horrible exit out of the final corner and it's going to essentially already kind of put us on the back foot in our first qualifying lap here in this session. Now before we get into the details, let's quickly plug the previous episode at Bahrain, link in the top right, go check it out because that will give a bit of context and also slash you might avoid some spoilers I may talk about later on in this video at some point. So go watch it. If you're going to enjoy this one, leave a like and subscribe for more league racing action, and also link down below to my link tree which features my Twitch. I stream these races every Monday night. With that said, the plug out the way, Sector 1 has finished and we're currently on our first timed lap here in this qualifying session. Now as you guys know, and as you tell by the title, Jeddah has been kind to me in the past. I'm a bit of a Jeddah merchant, as some in the community tend to call me, but my pace ain't great in this year's game, to be honest. Not a bad lap to be fair, bit safe, but it's better than I thought. This is it though. Now running up to this event, practice wise, I managed to do a 126.9 as a personal best in time trial. That's okay. So for this session, I don't really know what exactly to aim for. I will say one thing. This is a sprint race event, which means the track grip is a bit lower on this qualifying as it's technically run on a Friday, so the simulation of track grip isn't as high as it normally is, so the lap times will be a bit slower in the 27s. Across the line we set a 28.0. I'm not mad about it, I don't mind. Now that is not particularly great and a bit on the slower side. I was hoping for more like a 27.6, 7, 8 maybe, you know, as a banker, but clearly that the pace deficit due to the fact that it's a sprint race is noticeable. So we're P9 right now as we head on to our second attempt. We've got a half decent banker, so I know where to improve. Sector 1 we just have to be braver and carry more speed. We have a bit of movement out of turn number 2 there, but now into the S's we start to really find some time as we carry some speed and just generally commit to the lap a lot more than our first attempt. As you can see, over a tenth and a half up here. Shizer. Now that wasn't ideal. And that was shades of Mick Schumacher, who of course had a big crash in real life in 22. We actually distracted, I think, the Mercedes, who also spun. Oh, wow. And yeah, both of us essentially recovering as we are going to go back to the pit lane, get another set of tyres on and go for a final attempt because I didn't have enough fuel for another lap. So it's all or nothing on this very last lap. So here we go. Lap underway. We've got traffic as we've gone a bit early, so everyone is in the first sector, so we may have some issues. Into turns 1 and 2, it's not particularly great as we lose time and didn't really get the line right through none of the 2 apexes. Wow, fucking hell. And that was it, pretty much. Qualifying cut short and we finish 19th, which is quite disappointing. I think realistically, pace-wise, there was a bit of a gap in the top 6, so I think P7 would have probably been quite realistic for me, just finding, you know, 3.5 tenths or so. The pace was there, just, yeah, struggled to get a lap together, man, and definitely not ideal. Either way, like I said, it's a sprint race, so we're going to get a double opportunity to try and fight back, and we can do it in 2 stages, one in the sprint and then one in the main race. Now then, here we are, sprint race time, medium tyres on for 9 racing laps. Lights out and away we go, and it's a good start as we jump Noel Carmen off the line straight away. Out of turn 1 we're going to choose the outside line. We're going to see if I can just swing it the long way round, but we just get squeezed off there, so I have to back off and not go up the inside of Corne de Backer. Instead, Noel actually gets the cut back on me out of turn 2 because of that, and we're back down to last place for now as we head into the S section. Oh dear. Nothing I could do at all. Yes, he's going to end as soon as I pit.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
Just a stupid incident, and yeah, it cost us dearly because
Virtual safety car is ending. Maintain your pace until we get the green flags. VSC ending. Wait for the greens.
we got wing damage, and not just that, as I predicted a moment ago, the VSC ends just as we make our way onto the main straight. So yeah, unless there's a safety car, we're done in this race. So we'll just basically stay out, get another set of mediums on. We can go back on that old set of mediums in the race, which will only have like 1 or 2% wear. And yeah, we'll just go to the end, hope for a couple of DNFs, and we started P19 anyway, so there's no real loss in this scenario. So anything we gain is essentially a bonus. So yeah, that's kind of the mentality here. I'm also using this as a bit of race practice in a way, and just kind of analysing if I can maybe start the race with a bit less fuel, also maybe modify my tyre pressures, that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's kind of, you know, there's always things to learn, things to be gained in these scenarios, in these situations. And yeah, we're currently P18, but that's about to change as Yannick Schmidt retires. And that also gives you a bit of an insight into my pace, as I'm pretty much 1.2 seconds off the leader's pace. However, a few laps later, I kind of found some more pace. We've now dropped to a 30.2, and we've caught up to Corny DeBacker, who's got a time penalty. So we're most likely going to finish in P16, but I just want to make sure I get the move done on track. Corny actually moves out of the way. I think he's hoping to maybe repass me because, you know, he's struggling on them soft tyres, and I've got the advantage. I had so much battery left, I just basically pulled away and dropped him. So yeah, into the final corner, we're going to close out the sprint and finish in P16. So even though we crashed and took a wing change and it wasn't ideal, we still gained a net 3 places. So it was actually a positive, you know, race for us, and we start higher up than where we actually qualified. So yeah, personal best on the last lap to close it out, and there's your lot. I can't complain. Not ideal, obviously, and very unlucky, very unfortunate, but I didn't do much wrong, just the way it goes sometimes. So yeah, sprint race done, and of course qualifying done. So now one thing is left, and that is the main event. We're going to start from P16. Let's see if we can send it, turn it around, and hopefully score some points. Here we go then. The lights are on, hard tyres on the car this time, as we get ready for 25 laps of Jeddah. Lights out and away we go for the second time, this time on the left side of the grid. Pretty poor start, and the lethal sniper on the soft just rips off the line. Down to turn 1, trying to avoid getting wing damage, as we are on the hard tyre. We don't have another one of these, so we cannot afford to lose this tyre or get damage. Into sector 1, bit of contact there as the back gets squeezed into the wall. We're all over the back of Leroy Brown as we're looking to make a pass. Round the outside we go, and we're going to get that one back and make the move, as we have a bit of a moment there on the back end as we slide through the S's. And currently P17, so we've lost a net place to the lethal sniper, who is all over the shop. The backer looking for the move here on the outside as he uses a bunch of battery into the hairpin. We're going to hold the inside line and try to find the traction. Yannick Schmidt also looking for the pass on the inside, contact ahead as a couple of cars get caught up, and that moves us into P15 as Jona Martens is involved in that collision.
Okay, there's been an incident on track resulting in loose debris. Fortunately, the Martens have managed to clear it up in time, and there are so far no plans for a safety car.
In the meantime, we're all over the back of Leroy here, looking to make a pass. Now, Leroy is a person I usually get my subs from, so I'm always quite respectful of him in the sense that I kind of owe him one because he sets me up most races, so I'll always have a bit of respect for him in terms of racecraft. But the backer here is putting the pressure on, and I have to be careful. I can't brake too late, otherwise we're going to rear end the car in front. The backer goes for the dive, which I expected, and it's always me and him seem to run into each other in these races. Wheel banging as the backer tries to force his way into the slipstream, which I currently have. Down to turn 1. Who's going to be the last of the late breakers? Got to be careful here, and I'm going to try and send it around the outside. Bit more contact as we head through 2. Power down, not a bad exit. Stop trying to turn into me, bro. Let's go. We're going to lose the RS. I'd rather not lose the RS. Let's go. Some people just don't want to think of the bigger picture, so I will. Oh, fucking hell. Doesn't no one want DRS or what? And I'm just getting a bit frustrated, lack of aggression on my behalf, especially versus Yannick. But at some point, you have to question things, and people, I feel like sometimes just lack general race IQ. But it's so crucial at Jeddah to hold DRS because there's 3 DRS zones, 3 massive DRS zones. And I could have kept that battle going with Cornet DeBacker, but what is the point? If we're going to lose DRS, we will not catch back up. It's literally impossible. There is no chance, and we'll just bleed time the entire race and essentially get ourselves, ruled out of contention. So at some point, you have to take the high ground and consider what's best. Cornet was willing to pretty much deploy his entire battery to 0 to get past, whereas I wasn't. I'd rather keep the battery. So yeah, different approaches as my teammate DNFs, and I think we've got a safety car.
Right, drop your speed. Our delta's too low and we're going to risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
What do we do now? Now this was an interesting one, but I'm going to go for a strategy that we used recently. So we're going to head back onto a different tyre to essentially complete the tyre rule of using 2 different compounds, and then we're going to go back. Nice, they gave me the Super U set, not the... Oh, I haven't even got that. That set of mediums has been returned.
Stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track. Well,
I'm glad we got this strategy under us, because that set of mediums after what I was going to be able to use from the sprint is not available. And as you can hear me say, I thought I had a set of mediums, the ones that we had to get off on lap 1 of the sprint. Turns out we actually returned those.
Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please. You've got to give that position back, mate. We're under safety car conditions and you can't overtake. Return the position.
Interestingly, I'm only one of 2 that's going for this strategy. I thought all those cars that pit on the previous lap would have gone for the same strat. Now, we're going to go back to the hard tyres. We're going to get that back on. And to be fair, our plan is to go to the end. Now, one thing I will say, those cars that pit with us on the first stop, I wasn't right saying that they didn't pit with us. Turns out they're going to try and go to the end on mediums, whereas we've chosen to go for the hard tyre. Now, straight away, we got a great start. Tyres are nice and warmed up, and we've got the run here on Balash. This is a crucial move. I'm using all my battery because we have to make this pass because it's on the same strategy. Down to turn 1, up the inside, we cut the corner a bit, but still it's racing action. It's all fair in love and war as we try to go through, get in the better traction, and we've got the inside line this time into the S's, and we make a convincing pass and get ahead. Whoa! What's happened in the rear there? Bit of a moment as we get a little love tap, and that's a bit of a warning sign from Balash. Am I on 1 warning or 2? Or did I get 1 in a sprint? I can't remember now. If someone can let me know. I'm net P2 now. I have to pass Balash, past Sniper, and we're net P1. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We're going to the end. The strategy now is to stay in the DRS train, stick with the leaders. It's as simple as that, along with overtaking the lethal snipers on the same strategy as well. So that's it. Just don't lose DRS guys in the main train, otherwise it's going to fuck it all up. So yeah, at this point it's all about race IQ and knowing when to make certain moves. I mentioned before, I thought I would have had a set of mediums from the lap 1 sprint, but it turns out those got returned, which I don't know if that's the case in real life, but I lost a set of mediums. Luckily, this strategy is going to work out for us, but had I not had this option, we would have been in a bit of trouble in this race. So I'm really glad that the safety car came out and it forced us onto this strategy. Nonetheless, Lethal Sniper struggling for a bit of pace here, and to my surprise, he's actually going to pit now. Damage. And that must be the reason why. It has to be. Either way, we're going to crack on. We're now on net P1 of the hard tyre runners, and we've got a couple of cars ahead, Corny the backer and Leroy Brown specifically, who have chosen the medium tyre, as Noel Carman crashes out through the S's, and that's going to cost him dearly. But yeah, we've got I believe the backer and Leroy on the medium going to the end. So yeah, we'll see how that all pans out. Either way, lap number 8 now. Hard tyre working very well. I was quite comfortable at this stage. We was keeping up with the train. Everything was going beautifully. Oh, what the fuck, bruv? Oh, shit.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now.
Wow, how is my wing not damaged? Holy fuck. How is my wing not broken? There was no pressure, no reason for that. I'll just hopefully pick up the pace to catch up again. Please just drain your battery, Felipe. I'm fucking begging you, mate. Now that reckless move has cost all of us dearly. We've now lost the DRS from essentially the top 12 on the mediums. So I was begging that Felipe would just push like crazy. Rather than prioritize saving battery, use that battery to pass. And now Balázs is going to swap around, but both of them working together to get ahead. And thankfully, we are going to just about catch back up. Although, just as we kind of caught back up, the cars started to pit. So technically, the train never actually fully reformed. And we used a lot of battery in the process. So not exactly ideal. That one crash pretty much ruined the strategy for us in a big way, and Balázs is going to pit as well to top it all off on lap 13. So I really don't know what the plan was. Maybe he's not going to make it, I don't know. Either way, it's now just me and Felipe out there, along with Cornet and Leroy, who are about 3 seconds up the road. So yeah, we kept on doing our thing, ticking over, doing laps, lap after lap, and you can see we've got a few cars still hitting, getting their strategies out of the way. Some cars chose to go very long. I'm guessing in the hope of a safety car or a virtual safety car, and they didn't get it. So yeah, lap number 16 now. You can see we've got the first of the leaders, you could say, in Simon Lukomski and Yannick Schmidt behind, approx 7, 8, 9 seconds behind. The last of the fast cars, Jan Halde, is now in the pit lane, and he'll rejoin ahead of everyone as we're saving battery. 1 or 2 more laps, but I've got to make a move after, otherwise we're going to get caught. So here we are, lap 17. Jan is behind on the freshest medium out of everyone, and the gap is 5.7 seconds with 8 laps to go. So he'd have to gain approx 7, 8 tenths a lap to catch us. What I'm going to do now is push like crazy. I'm going to pass Felipe. I've saved a bit of battery, not enough, but a bit. We've lost a bit of time to the front too. Leroy's got a 6-second time penalty, so right now all we've got to do is catch Cornet, the backer. At this point, I actually thought Leroy and Cornet were going to pit. I didn't actually realise until lap 21 or 22 that they were actually going to go to the end. So I was just doing my thing, thinking I'm net P1, but then it kind of hit me around lap 20-21 that these two were going to actually go to the end, and that's when I kind of picked up the pace. You can see the cars behind going faster, but the gap to Jan is still 5.7 seconds, and that was a strong last lap of the personal best from us. Lap 21, you can see now I'm starting to push, and this is the lap when I realised, okay, I need to go like crazy now. We're running out of time. I've got a little bit of battery left. I'm going to give it everything to try and get within DRS range of Cornet, the backer. So we start to push, and we start to drop Felipe Sousa in the first sector. The leaders are just under 4 seconds behind with essentially 4 laps to go. So they're not doing enough to catch us right now. I just clocked the cars ahead could be going to the end as well. Leroy and Cornet, I think, did pit. And literally, as I said on cue, lap 21, it kind of hit me that they were going to the end. So I'm pushing now to try and get the DRS and also drop Felipe. No!
Check your MFD for a new...
Ah, you bastard. You bastard. Wow. Wow. Oh my god. I reset the track at the right time, but oh my god. We'll take a set of softs and send it. But that strategy would have been in the bin because of that safety car anyway, so it means nothing. This is going to be spicy because the leaders are staying out, so... Oh. This ain't over yet, folks. Now this is complex, but essentially I made a mistake, which was cataclysmic. But the safety car was called because JST retired moments before me. Just get me out ahead of these cars. Yes, lovely, lovely. We're still in it, we're still in it. So we got a massive slice of luck with that incident because of our spin. We actually have a way back into this race. Also, depends how you look at it, that safety car, as I mentioned, would have ruined my race strategy anyway. I'm not used to this, man. I'm not used to being in a higher position. And the reason for that is because I was only protected by Felipe Sousa behind, and then everyone else was on faster rubber. So once they cleared Felipe, which would have been pretty much instantly, they would have been onto us straight away, which would have been really, really tough. So I'm not saying it would have been bad, but I'm saying it would have been hard for me to win the race. Obviously now, it's going to be even harder, but at least we've got a chance on the soft tires to do some damage. Down to turn 1, looking to make some moves here on the restart. I had a bit of a timid look up the inside of Schmidt into turn 1. Bogdan Moldovan's had a great restart, and now we're going to get pinballed around. And that is far from ideal, and Bogdan's actually slipped through, but he's got a penalty, so it's not a bad thing. We'll just let him crack on. He has a bit of a moment. I'll try to re-challenge, but I have a moment of my own on the tyres, not fully up to temp. We keep Andre Molnar behind as it's full action here. 2 laps of essentially a sprint and flat out chaos. We've got loads of battery to use and burn, So this should be flat out to the end. Into the hairpin. Andre looking for the move. Cars run wide on cold tyres. Bogdan slips through. I'll try to follow, but we have more contact with Yannick. And now we head into the chicane behind. Thomas Gall up the inside. And at that point, it was game over. I tried so hard after that to just stay quiet and just keep my composure, because that was painful. I'm not saying I would have won the race, but I think we could have easily got a top 5, possibly even a podium. You know, Bogdan had a penalty, Leroy had a penalty, we had the tyre advantage for the last lap as well, and it could have been huge, but instead, it is what it is. So much could have happened in that race. In an alternate universe, who knows? Like I said, with the sprint, with the tyres, we didn't have a medium, so had the first safety car not come out, we wouldn't have made it on tyres. The final safety car, my own crash. Boy, that was a tough one, a lot to digest. But either way, I'll take some positives. For the first time in a long time, I genuinely got a strategy spot on and had a chance to win the race, which is awesome. So, yeah, we take that and move. No points again. But you know what? I almost won a race, and I'm happy about that. But it's been so long since I fought at the front that I was so nervous, man. The pressure was getting to me, and not in a good way. But yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed it. Leave a like and subscribe if you did. And something different, but the Jeddah Master, the guy who for some reason can do really good one-off races at Jeddah, turns up once again as I almost collect the win. Either way, guys, as always, a big shout out to the members. Check out the 2 videos on screen, and I'll see all of you in the next one. Until then, have a good rest of your night, and I'll see you very soon.